or several of them, so the secretary can keep.
Yeah, they're not really the team player at this point, maybe it's another company.
Yeah, because and that's, you know, love to hear y'all's thoughts on what other companies you guys think should be represented, because I believe that's.
Got inventory. Got
Yeah.
One list here.
Okay.
One of the possible ones would be the record, because also they did come to some of their original meetings, so I suspect that they have an interest, so they used to have meetings. So I don't know. Maybe.
Sort of. Remember that. Okay. Ron, just thank you. Thank you for your contribution to service. We'll miss you. We wish you all the best. Just ask the minutes reflect our appreciation to you and best wishes there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Where did we leave the question of universities? Taking that to the.
Yeah, that if Ron is connected with someone at each school already, then they express interest.
3 names. I can give you a name from each of the 3 schools.
That'd be great. So what I'll do is take those from Ron and take it to the secretary, and if you know, that I mean, there doesn't appear to be enough knowledge about the individuals for there to be a will, board. But if anybody has any, then how about this? Then once Ron gives me the names, I'll share them with the group. If anybody has any specific comments,
That would be my preference.
Yeah.
To share with the group. Can you share their resume so we have a sense of who
Yeah,
the individuals are?
There's a bio online.
I'll send something around so everybody that if you know something great about one of them, please share it. If you know something horrible about someone, you can share that as well.
I don't know
Only
the
with
individuals.
Yeah, but only with me.
I don't know the individuals, but I would say just for sort of the charter and focus as written, to have one of the nationally ranked HBCUs represented would be very positive.
Yes. And there, I think that there may be some interest to have some diversity as well. So something like that. But when Ron shares his names with me, I'll shoot the bios around everybody so we can have some input.
Okay, great. All right. Future meeting dates.
Yeah, there's been some interest from a couple people to see if we could pick some, if not year, 2 or 3 meetings out and try to we kind of make them in as much stone, kind of in chiseled in stone. So I'm not sure whether we have that capability today to do that, but I think that it'll be helpful for some of our other members not being able to attend quite as often.
Okay, so why don't, if everybody's comfortable, I'll work with Randy. We'll pick something like sometimes in October, January, April, something like that. Maybe 3 months going forward. See if that works. Stay away from the holidays.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
We have a September 8th date, serve current schedule.
Okay, we do.
September 8th?
Well, then,
Yeah, I sort of thought that I could.
okay.
Well,
Well, then,
1:30 to 4, and that's why I got 1:30. We could change something else.
We'll get to that. Okay.
So
have it here, because I got
Yeah. What day of the week?
That's a Monday?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it to be with that board of directors and
You want to change it?
Is it 1:30 to 4? No, he's 1:30 to 4.
Oh, 1:30 to 4?
All right, we'll get that sorted out. Be in touch with everybody pretty quickly on days. Okay,
How many
absolutely.
meetings have we had this year already?
how many full board meetings we've had? 2.
This makes the second one.
Yeah.
Required to have 4 by
Yeah.
statute.
Yeah, so we should probably meet in September, we should probably meet in
Okay, as
December.
long as we don't forget the fact we're statutorily required to be 4 times a year, it doesn't matter if we ship it out in October.
Yeah.
But be aware of that. So if we do it in October, you'll be doing a separate check.
And we should,
Early December.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
Do we have a report to you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, then, the first one,
It's the first week of November, right?
that the report's due?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is right. So we'll probably need to have a draft, like in a September meeting, we'll need to have a draft of what we're gonna want to say in that report, which I can.
Let's confirm the key elements of that. We've got stuff to say, so.
Yeah.
What
date,
No,
I usually do those here.
or we're not keeping the September date?
we'll move it a few days maybe.
Okay.
We'll send something out in 24 hours to make some other suggestions for that. It's hard, you know. Okay, any other business anyone from the Consortium Authority wants to bring up? If not, we'll open up for any public comment. I'm sorry?
So
Yes.
there was the other current events that Randy were asking, so it's like the climate change commission, all these comments on the APA, new are we planning, I mean, those also have very close timelines, not as close as the other ones, but pretty close to. So is there should we discuss with everyone or anything about that?
I mean, I think what we come out with for the energy plan, especially the fleshed out version of it, will probably be closer if we just take out a couple things and add a couple things that we could submit. If we're going to meet in September, the deadline for EPA 111D is the 16th of October.
Right.
So I think the goal should be to have a revised version that we give to the energy plan for you guys to review at that meeting to approve it so we can submit there. Because it is slightly different issues, but and then the Climate Change Commission, that's a 1 year charge that the governor's giving them. So I just think sometime in that general time frame, then if we sit, when we do the EPA rules, we should do as well. I think that.
So, but one of the questions that seems to be here is, does the group want to submit formal comments to the EPA on their 111D rule? Those are the comments that are due October 16th. I don't know.
I know the American Duke Society, as I'm working with them to create those, it might be good for us to at least share those with you in their draft form, and maybe if you've got comments, because we're doing it for more of a national focus. It's not a state by state, obviously, kind of focus in that sense, but, I could get those shared with you, and you can decide if you want to add something.
I mean,
That's your call.
yeah, no, I think that'd be great input to get. I mean, that there is one specific issue directly related to nuclear energy, which is going to be some of the biggest concerns is how do you take is how you count the 6% issue. If it's something that the board cares about, keep sharing their thoughts with how much that affects the nuclear industry in Virginia. I mean, I think that there's a
Here's the
So maybe
question.
something very narrow on
Yeah,
that issue.
Yeah.
and here's a question for you to take back, Randy. Is the Commonwealth of Virginia going to submit comments?
Oh, yeah.
And do they want us to have any input into those comments that they don't already plan to do? I don't know what process you're using to develop those. And of course, the other question is, in my discussions with a bunch of states are talking to each other quite a bit,
Yeah.
to say the least, and you may see a lot happening. I mean, there could be 18 million.
Yeah.
So many comments on this thing, it's nuts, so.
Yeah, that there are a number of listening sessions that the DEQ is doing now to receive input as they draft their comments.
So
to
maybe
the EPA.
at the September meeting, maybe someone from the state could come and just discuss a little bit what they're looking at doing in terms of comments, and then we can decide if there's anything more that we think we should do, or we're comfortable with what they say. And that way, is that a work for people? Because we got to focus on the energy plan stuff, I think, as much as anything.
So
Which will have
maybe
much more impact.
DEQ preparing the comments
Yes.
on that?
Yeah, DEQ will be the one submitting comments.
Okay.
And
Because they may not be touching on this particular issue, because it's not really a state issue, it's more an industry issue. I don't know, but they may, because it is important. to
I'm very
Virginia.
confident that they're going to touch on this issue.
The state is the one that has to comply.
Yeah,
Well, that's true.
I'm very confident that how nuclear is counted will be a significant part
Part of what
of DEQ's doing. This is an opportunity to amplify. I think.
So can you make a
So this
request
is
to
just
them
one.
that someone could come by the September meeting, and we'll probably end up with that one, and we can just hear what they're gonna
Yeah.
say, and we can, we can always, still up to October 16th, we can always get a letter
Yeah.
in, or comment with it.
Yeah, I think that sure something to be considered.
And certainly if they need any help, then they know who to call, but
Yeah.
they have this now sort of fellow state body
Yeah.
that could.
Yeah, I mean, if they would share with us and say, ask us if there is there anything more we want to add to what they're going to say with the nuclear aspect of how they're going to comment, that would be very important.
And could, Mr. Chairman, just advise you, I can't give you a bunch of details now, but we're currently working with all 31 states that utilize nuclear energy out of the 50 states. We work through the National Governors Association to reach out to each of the governors and give them the reason why, when they start doing their state-specific responses, they acknowledge and recognize the value of nuclear energy to jobs, the economy, obviously, reliable, available energy sources, and also the infrastructure, tax base, and so on and so forth. And we were very disappointed, but acknowledged that when a number of the governors heard this for the first time, they were quite surprised to find out just how much nuclear contributed to the underlying state activities. And we're going to be picking a couple of states specifically to assist us in that. And I don't know if Virginia will end up being one of those states or not, but it won't be unless I get you guys in engagement first. But it is something we are conducting. So all 31 states are going to be collaborating in some activity that acknowledges and recognizes how nuclear energy supports their particular states. And we've developed a slide presentation, we've developed a mechanism and a value proposition and everything, and we're starting to meet with more and more folks from the National Governors Association, individual governors themselves. And I'll just keep feeding that back to you, so you're aware that's going on.
Scott, please, in that loop.
I put him in the loop, yes, sir. I started it with the American Nuke Society, and now I'm just carrying it on after in my, whatever my position is now. But yes, sir, I'll make sure. We sent it to him, he's aware of it. I haven't given him all the materials yet. Is there a particular reason why you asked me that? You want me to make sure he's
Well,
engaged?
you've just got a number of initiatives going. You got the nuclear matters issue, you have going, you got, before you know it, you have a lot of overlap.
We are trying to coordinate through the nuclear matters activity. We've already talked to Marv and to those two senators would begin. So I didn't mean to interrupt, Mr.
No,
Chairman.
I think the important point, there's a lot going on, and the more coordinated it can be, the power of the strength of everything.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure we've got it all integrated so that we start heading one direction on this group and they're going another, and so you're aware of it, so at least you can utilize your decision-making processes.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for us to just piggyback to the extent we have to on what the Commonwealth does. Okay. Good. Thank you. All right, after anything else, any last one with any public